Alright everyone, welcome back to Genshin version 5.6, and this is the second boss guide I'm releasing tonight, alongside this one. This one is probably already released, so check the top right for my version, and from there you can also search up Sunway's version. I pinned it in the comments. So, this boss fight though is going to cover the new weekly boss that's going to be coming out of the quest that you'll do, and this one is actually extremely fun. I quite like this boss fight, and not only because it's silly, but also because it's really cool the amount of detail that they put into this boss fight, specifically the rules of chess. Because, as the name suggests, unresolved chess game, you will be fighting chess pieces. And without spoiling too much, they really do adhere to the rules of chess, such as a queen can attack in both diagonals and straight attacks. A king can only move in a 3x3 grid in terms of, one move in each direction only. The list goes on. But I'm just going to go in there and show you how to fight it because, honestly, I have a lot of fun. Not only just making this guide, but looking at all the effects and such. So, for this boss fight, since the moves are plentiful, but also not like overwhelming, I would rather just showcase the boss fight with like okay-ish health, because if I fight this at level 90, the boss will have 1.8 billion HP, and I don't think my free-to-play squad is up to the task, and I don't want you to watch a 35-minute video either, so I'm just going to lower it to level 70 and call it there. And for this fight, don't bring PYRO. I'm not even kidding. Because not only does it kind of bait you in the beginning thinking you need PYRO, but it actually actively harms you in the second phase, where after the chessboard, as you can see here, there's another fight that follows. If you bring PYRO, you're not only making the fight harder for yourself, but you quite literally hurt yourself, so don't do it. So for our fight, we're going to bring a rainbow assortment of characters here. I'm going to bring Geo Traveler because throwing rocks at people is hilarious. Lynette with 1 N, rather than my Traveler with 2, is also going to make an appearance here, since we have Cryo and Hydro in the form of Kaya and Barbara here. For the builds, it's not very difficult to understand. Sword of Resistant Cruise and Noblesse for my Traveler. For the most part, it's remained the same. Lynette here with 1 N is going to be using the Festering Desire, although since this is a rather early weapon, I would say another appropriate one would be the Pipe from Fontaine, or any other sword that you can get your hands on. Just not this one, right? And of course, VV. And Barbara is quite literally unbuilt. She has a level 3, or sorry, 3-star book with a level 70 cap, and barely any leveled stuff in terms of her actual Ocean Hued Clam set. So even that she's C6, it quite literally does not matter, because if I need to be revived in this fight, the guide has gone horribly wrong. Though I will tell you, there is a chance that you will get one-hit KO'd if you don't do a certain reaction. Kaya here is to help fulfill that reaction as well, because this update really likes ice. So Kaya is running the Amanoma Kageuchi along with the Emblem of Severed Fate. Very simple to understand, and that's pretty much it for the overview of the characters here. So let's begin. Alrighty, so before the boss begins, 3 things you should know. 1, there are technically 3 phases to this boss fight. We have the first phase, where you have the king, the second with the queen, and the third with both, and we'll get into that later. Second, obviously, remember, if you feel underpowered, always feel free to eat food, because it's a single-player game, and if anyone judges you, you should tell them to fuck right off. And third, like I said, bringing PYRO to this fight is actually kind of detrimental, so just keep in mind if you're baited into thinking that you do need it, because there is a electric shielded enemy in this particular phase, but there's a reason why the game recommends that you don't use it, and rather only Hydro and Cryo. But here we go, let's begin. So, a king will move as a king will, move in real life. It's 1 tile at a time, and it will stomp down and attack in adjacent tiles. He'll either do these ones or this big explosion here, which is very easy to dodge and get out of. Honestly, pretty sick. And of course, one of his more sophisticated attacks is that he'll summon Rooks to attack you in straight lines, and of course, the Knights.
You can't get me up here.
And here, like I said, a Bishop, and it only attacks diagonally, so it'll do 2 or 3 attacks, and then you can get rid of its shield even further.
I can't lose, but I can't seem to win either.
I almost ate shit there. There we go. Will he attack twice? Yes, he will. And I can use my Geo Rock to also chip away at it as well. Very simple to grasp, honestly. And generally speaking, it's honestly so cool that they just incorporate the rules of chess into this boss fight. Here we go. This should be the last, and DPS phase. So let me just enable this. It doesn't last for very long, but you can get a lot of damage inside. And when you reduce his health to less than 50%, he will enter the second part of phase 1, which is that he'll summon a bunch of pawns. Let's see if I can get him to... I'm surprised that I haven't actually gotten it yet. So, 1 second. There we go. So he should enter the new phase now. He'll literally ride a Rook, and you have to bait him in straight lines to hit his own pawns. Ideally, you want to stay like a 1 gap between the pawns, but if you get close, like a pawn usually would, it'll attack you, whether head-on or by corners. So, let me see if I can get him here. Come on, come on. There we go. And now, another free DPS phase. He also damages himself a lot, so just letting you know, it's good to take advantage of the mechanics. And here, the Queen will arise.
King and Queen should present a united front.
And she'll do like 3 or 4 attacks. This one, swap to another character when all the spikes go up in the air, because that loses tracking. Just like how the unicorn, or not the unicorn, the seahorse fight goes in Fontaine. Here, she'll do a cross and then an X, or just 1 attack, I guess. And this one, of course, attacks in every tile that a queen can attack, given her given location. Other than that, the sword, the big arena boom, and like this X along with the plus, and then the big like sort of spike projectiles and stuff like that. That's all there is in terms of attacks when it comes to this fight. So it's actually pretty simple to get a hold of, but you might want to run in most situations because of the fact that she can easily swipe at you with those blades. It's not the best way to get caught out. Did I take damage there? Oh no, that's just when that's passive. Okay. I was like, did I get hit? What? And that's pretty much it for this part of the fight. So, pretty simple to understand, and honestly, it is much easier than one may think it would be. There we go. And last but not least, we have the king who pops out, and you checkmate him. Alrighty, welcome to the final phase of this boss fight. And what's cool about this particular part is that there is a special revive mechanic. If you played Zenless Zone Zero, you've played against the Ballet Twins, I'm sure. And it kind of works in that way, except it's a lot easier. And when it comes to the king and queen here, if you happen to kill either of them, let's say you kill the queen, the king will then revive her with his remaining HP at least 1 time, and then they'll share each other's HP. So if he has like 50% left, he'll revive her with like 20% HP, and then he'll go down to 20 HP as well. And what's cool about that is that if you manage to get their health down to underneath 25%, you can actually kill them permanently, in which that they won't do a revive mechanic anymore. But of course, ideally you just kill them both at the same time. And the key word for this part of the fight is just distance. There's a lot of times in which that the king will jump at you and throw explosions at you, or the queen will like trap you in a whirlpool and stuff like that. So best you tread with caution, especially when the queen gets out her Gatling gun. So for that, I'm just going to improve my damage real quick because I don't want to take 10,000 years doing this. But once you approach them, the fight will start, and he'll leap at you and slam down. So the triple hit there is one of his more dangerous attacks, and here the queen is mostly harmless, but the king is kind of where you want to keep your eyes on. And luckily, the game actually keeps the camera on them. With this Gatling gun, if you were really close there, I would have eaten shit. So good thing I kept my distance. But here, the queen will continue to try to splash me. Won't work. I'm not wet. But here's where the frozen mechanic comes in. So make sure that you have this up, otherwise you will literally go up in flames and die. It's a guaranteed 1 hit KO.
Good lord, I'm forgetting your lines.
Where were we?
These DPS phases also do not last very long, so just keep in mind if you're trying to set up an entire thing with that, don't bother. The DPS phases in this phase do not last long at all. None of them do.
Let us dance, my dearest.
Try to remember the steps this time.
Oops. I thought I had it memorized.
So here I want to battery Kaya and Barbara because I do want to make sure that I get the frozen off, because the queen will do the same with a big tidal wave. And I'll demonstrate that right now, because it should be coming very soon. With the king though, his attacks are mostly dodged or just simply avoided by walking away. Here we go. For this particular phase, the queen will charge up and the king will actually charge at you. So you want to kind of walk away from him and kind of bait properly. Because if the meter underneath here, you see like the blue thing underneath me, if that charges up completely,
My dear.
your active character will go to 0 HP. So keep that in mind.
Blundering oaf, you're ruining the show.
They genuinely is like an arguing couple. It's so funny. Is this how all medieval relationships were like? If so, get the fuck out. Alright. But I'm doing my damage. I'm keeping my distance, throwing rocks, and that's all you really need to do in this particular fight.
Symphony of cannon fire.
Just don't get stuck in the barrel.
Did you just call him a fat ass? Damn, son. Brutal. And then he's gonna pull up the sword and it'll go 1v3. That's cool.
It is time.
Alright, so we're gonna do the frozen reaction again.
With one almighty
This calls for some pomp and ceremony. Oh, good lord, I'm just
I've
forgetting
lost
your
my
lines.
place. Where were we?
So here, I made the king die. And he's just KO'd for now, but you can take a look at how the queen reacts. Watch her HP. So she'll be like, oh no, my precious fat ass.
Yet to conclude.
And then she'll give him a bunch of HP, but then take a bunch of HP herself, like this. See? So it actually is not very bad.
My dear.
And I'll do the same for the queen here in just a moment.
Let us dance, my dearest.
Try to remember the steps this time.
Might eat shit here. The Gatling gun? Yep. Very bad.
I thought I had it memorized.
Ouchie. I do want to see what happens. Yeah, get the queen down. Alright, cool. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go.
Call has arrived.
So, basically, when a revive goes, it doesn't matter whether or not the king or queen will do it. If they are underneath 25 HP and a revive in the field has already happened for the enemy, they will be taken permanently out of the fight. You can see that he gets a lot more aggressive here. So I took a lot more damage, but that was just me being greedy. Honestly, this is not a difficult part of the fight. There we go. And the music ends with it as well. So, alright, that is it for the fight. Thank you so much for watching. And honestly, props to Hoyo for making such a fun and interactive weekly boss fight. I was so let down with the Notlan one that this one redeemed it, honestly. This was so fun. It's funny, it's detailed, it has a lot of like nice cool moves, and it's also not very difficult. So honestly, I'm a fan. There's no like long wait periods of time where you have to like just dodge for 5 minutes and use a Usia Numa attack, or have to specifically use Phlogiston and like Night Soul to do this and clear that and wait for something to come by. This was a return to form, and all it took was us going back to Mondstadt. So that is it. Again, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out Sunway's video as well, and I'll catch all of you next time. I'll probably stream the quest actually, so if you see me live, come say hi. I would appreciate it.